Okay, we are at the south entrance of the Eagle. I'll just turn the camera over here for a second. Where this little patch you can see under the ferns, that is normally, that's like a piece of metal or something. That's usually where them two blue races are actually coiled up. I don't see them. But if you hear me screaming like a little girl, I just saw the 6-foot blue racer again, and that thing is mammoth. But see that? This actually freaked me out. I thought it was a snake, but it's just a piece of metal. So we'll head down and I'll show you. Man, the horse flies and deer flies are terrible right now. I'll show you how the eagle looks. We're coming in here. This is actually weed. It almost looks like clover, but it's not. It's got a different leaf pattern. I'm not really sure what it is, and I don't necessarily see it snipped off much, so I don't really know. You can see all the way down the eagle. It's it is exposed and it's skinny, so if it is windy, I'm sure some of this is just from wind. But there's definitely beds in here. And you can see over here is my 4 plum trees. And then up there you can see those green tubes up there that border the horizon there. That is all my American and beaked hazelnuts. But just kind of want to show you what the status is here. If we get down in here, you can definitely see where the clover starts. You can see the difference. There's my clover, and just a few inches over is that weed. I'm not really sure. I mean, it looks so close to being clover, but it definitely ain't. So down in here, you can see all kinds of trails and things through here. There's some chicory right down in there, and there's a ton of that. And you can see, man, everything grew so well in here. I gotta say the pH down here is actually quite good. Even though with all the gravel, like I told you when we were actually tilling this, it was crazy rocky and then sandy, especially towards the plum trees down there. But man, everything grew so well. I just can't. There's no way this is like 4.5, something like that. Like you said, we seen the soil test from last year, and one was I think 6. One was just near a darn perfect 7. So we'll go down here and I'll show you. Actually, I did border this with some fruit trees also. So we'll go down here and I'll show you that. And it does kind of, you can see where we kind of maybe didn't seed it as well on this west border. Actually, east border. But so you can see like the ferns are a little more, so I don't think I necessarily sprayed this far last year. And I'm not going to again. We're not going to spray it like we said before. We're just going to mow it and then seed it. So that's actually going to happen here relatively soon. Let's see, and you can just see some of these are actual beds, and it's crazy. I mean, this isn't. I think what would we measure this? A 1/16 of an acre? Maybe it was a 32nd. But it's just crazy how much deer have used this. And you can see I actually did, like I said, border this with some fruit trees. This one you can kind of see it down there. It's kind of tough, but there is a sweet crab there. I do have a bucket if you can kind of see it, with holes drilled in it for when it does rain, because I don't water these like I do the ones in the orchard. I just figured I had 3 extra trees, and I put them down here, and if they do well, they do. If they don't, they don't. This is that picture I took for you the other day. When you're approaching this second crabapple, you can see this deer bed that's like totally entrenched under these ferns and obviously really close to food source. So I'll kind of outskirt that a little bit. Try not to get too close in here, but here's the other tree. This one is also a sweet crab. These two are from Oikos. Most of my sweet crabs were from Coldstream, but I actually did get some from Oikos as well. But this is a native nursery tree over here. This particular spot was just really gravelly, but when I dug it out, there actually is a little weed in there. Big tall piece of grass here, but I don't know if you can see down in there, there is a native nursery tree in there. So, that's kind of the eagle here. I'll walk this way. We'll walk this side, and I will go and show you the plum trees. But it is that big hole where those blue rangers live is over here. So if I scream, I ran into one. You can see it's just so much sandier on this side than the other side. It was like, this is where we actually buried the rototiller, was right in this side. And the growth, you can see, is just not as good as the other side, but you know, they're still using it obviously as a big travel corridor, because we have, you know, quite a bit of food in here compared to what it was before. It was just really dead brown grass. So when we get down in here, I'll show you my pears, or plum trees. See, these are my American plum trees. Now this one, actually 2 weeks ago I discovered this one. I have no idea what's happening with this one. I don't know if you can see down in there, but actually there is green. So I am going to take this tube off and actually snap this thing off where it's dead. And if it's, I don't know what kind of disease a plum tree would get, but I will, unless it's like metal, you know, if this is obviously a dump before, maybe some contamination down there, I'm not really sure, but I'll take the tube off and snap it off where it's dead and see if the green is still down there. You can jump back. This is the another American plum. That one's just about to come out of the tube and everything is fine on that one. Whew, something crawled up my leg. Everything looks pretty healthy. We can go over to the next one. You see, I haven't sprayed down here since May, I think, when I planted these, and this is still, everything's dead around here. So, and this is, you know, this one came out of the tube quite a while ago, and you can obviously see where it's been bitten off. So there's nothing I can really do about that unless I fence it, which I'm just not going to do for plum trees. So I think they're known, at least the American version, known as being pretty vigorous. I'm just going to let it go, and you can see this plum tree is out of the tube. And it's being browsed too, which probably doesn't help that there's a slant right here so they can actually get a little taller. Otherwise normally would be able to. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this plum tree, and that is my update for what's happening at the bacon ranch. Talk to you later.